Here we are again, everyone, with another 30-minute missions kit. It's kit number 14, so pretty early. It says up here in 2019 this Portanova navy color came out. I've noticed in this series that some of the colors means there's actually a different form factor as well, although I'm not sure. This looks the same as the yellow one I built. Anywho, we got some articulation callouts, some nice poses there. They're really easy to build. Okay. Just want to show you guys the plastics and stuff if you're totally new to this thing. Also, these earlier kits, I don't know where the cutoff point was, but the earlier kits have these stickers, which I've come to appreciate. And I've looked to buy these stickers on the aftermarket, but for some reason Bandai doesn't sell the stickers. They only sell water slide decals, which generally look better. But I'm not painting these, and I don't really care about their finish quality so much, so I just like the speed and convenience of stickers. So, yeah, if anyone knows at what kit at what kit number they stop providing stickers, I'm sure other viewers would want to know besides me. Okay, well, anyways, yeah, see, the colors are really nice. I don't see too much weird stuff going on in the plastic. I guess this is the only one right here. You see this, like, triangular Y shape? That's where the plastic, I think, met itself in 3 spots. But otherwise, everything else looks pretty good. So that's why I don't really paint these things, because it takes a long time. You know, I'm lazy. I have other models to paint, and I don't want to paint those. There's a little bit of a story here. Hold on, let me hit focus. Okay, so I don't have time to read that, but maybe you do if you pause the video. Alright. There actually is a blue version, and it's got a different colored eye, but form factor wise it looks the same. So, as usual, if you can just look at arrows and numbers, you can just put this together. And the arms and legs seem to be symmetric, so it's really easy. Only the torso seems to be unique, really. So, I'm going to fast forward this to some music, and we'll catch you at the end. If there are any problems, we'll discuss that. So, very straightforward build because I built number 10, which is the yellow version. It's the exact same mold, just different colors, right? So I'm gonna, I don't know, just quickly go over the articulation, but it's also in this review as well. So the neck is on a pivot, and then the head is on a ball peg on top of that neck, so you can, get some that much movement all around, right? Okay. And then the instructions, you can actually take the Roy head and pop it on here. It's kind of weird though. Yeah, so you can choose to do that if you want, but I think it looks better with just the normal head. And I'm sure you can swap out other heads from other robots in this series, maybe even Gundams. This is the first time where I've run into joints that were exceptionally tight. The two ball joints here for these shoulders here, I was afraid of breaking them. So if they seem like they're a little tight, you just gotta sit there and wiggle it a tiny bit, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, and it eventually, works away that little seam line that I think was causing the over tightness. Well, while we're at it, we have the butterfly joint inside the torso there, and then that can obviously go back and forth and rotate all around. This armor on the shoulder here pivots up, so you can actually then move that hinge joint in the arm pretty far up. Yeah. And then this is really tight too, and I haven't adjusted it, but there's a post right here. Yeah, so tight, right? And so you can twist that around, but yeah, that's exceptionally tight, so I'm gonna leave it be. Okay, then there's a hinge here for the arm, and the arm bends more than 90 degrees, so that's pretty good. And then the hand is on a ball peg as well, so that's okay. Now this is one fault I noticed. The ball peg up in here, it just wants to fall out because nothing's keeping this trapped inside there. There's no like ridge on this plastic that traps the ball in place. It's kind of a weak design point of these robots. So what I do is I take some poster putty and jam it up in there just to keep it from falling apart. And poster putty being putty, it doesn't really, it's not gonna mess it up. It's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna react with the plastic or even paint from my experience so far. In fact, I'm gonna jam some more up in there. And in this case, because it's actually gray, it's almost an exact match with the gray parts of this particular model kit. Okay, so being a ball peg, you can get that little bit of ab crunch, also a decent amount of back, and then you can obviously swivel it back left and right quite a bit. And then I want to come out there. This post goes through this grid into the hip area, and then there's a ball peg there. It's stuck in the black piece now. So obviously you can rotate it, but if you bring it out a little bit, then you can actually get more side to side, more crunch. So with this in the top one, you can get a pretty good amount of movement. These little armor plates here by the hip can swing up, and you can obviously remove them because they have the 3mm post things. Get them out of the way, or remove them entirely and pop something else in their place. The hips are great. They have this drop down piece here, this slot shape. So this is in the up forward position, but you can also get more height out of it. Both of these now are at the height, but it looks a little gappy, of course. Or you can push them back in the top position, so you can see the difference. Very tight again, very tight. But you can see the difference where the hips are, so that it will allow some extreme posing. Alright, and then there's a post here, and you can rotate the upper thigh. And then there's a double hinge here for the knee, so really great bending of the leg. And it's really cool that this armor piece blends back, right? It looks kind of well integrated. So then you have this ankle joint, and that's a clip-on, a C-clip, so it moves left and right quite a bit. On the end of it is a polycapped ball, so then you can also, so tight, rotate that foot and also angle it front and back, and a little bit more angle beyond the actual C-clip movement. I crazy glued these little pieces behind this ankle armor because they always fall out, so I crazy glued those, and you can see there's a ball peg there. So you can move this armor a little bit and hide. You know, it helps hide the appearance of that joint. You can obviously flip it upside down as well. I think it actually might look better that way. I'm going to do that this way just to be different from my yellow one. Okay, so that's the quick articulation. The gun, it's really not too much to it, really, actually. There's a bunch of parts. This thing is trapping the front to the back. So you can remove this and maybe pop in, you know, other parts from other guns. But I'm just going to leave this the way it is. But the handle doesn't rotate or anything like that. It just has some 3mm holes to plug in some stuff like that or something. Okay. I guess we'll pop this in here. Unfortunately, there's no extra hands with this guy. Just both of these. They only came with the 2 grippy hands. This thing here, I'm not sure what it is. It's like a punching shield or something, but it's got a handle so you can pop it in here, right? Or being a 3mm peg, you can put it into any of these hard points and maybe pretend it's a radome or something. Okay. Yeah, so I guess that's it. As usual, you know, you can peg in stuff wherever you feel like. One thing that's kind of weak is there's no 3mm holes in the feet, so you can't really use a peg stand on the feet at least. But up here in the bottom of the crotch you can, so that's nice. And then, you know, a stand would peg into any one of these other holes here. So I guess you have plenty of stand options, but I just like the idea of having a foot peg. All right. That looks a little weird, right? Maybe. And then you can actually cut off some of the sprue and use those as connecting rods. I'm not going to do that right now, but you can. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I do feel like it makes an interesting radome, though. So Roy becomes a sensor system. Okay, well, that's it. So now we have the 2. I think there's other colors as well, but I just picked up the blue one because it was inexpensive. And then eventually I'm going to mash all my figures together and create some crazy dinosaurs or whatever the other people are doing with these things. But for now I'm going to keep them all separate, you know, and that's why I appreciate the stickers, and that's why I asked about it earlier, at what point they cut it off. I'm going to have to start using like label makers when it gets to the latter series, because they don't come with stickers anymore. And there don't seem to be too many decal sheets with tons of like small numbers on them. So decals tend to be expensive as well. So we'll have to see what happens, but most likely a label maker. So you can see, you know, this one has a red eye, this one has a green eye. But other than that, yeah, they're just color choices, right? But it's nice. I think I prefer the color of this one myself. This brown, tan, yellow thing. But this, I guess, yeah, if you like navy stuff. Okay, well, thanks for watching today. I guess we'll see you in the next 30-minute missions video.